So we're gonna start with Jacquie Lamm, aka Lugnuts. Jackie's the head esports coach for Minnesota State University, Mankato. Am I saying that right? Mankato. She's excited for a spring semester where the university's 3 varsity teams will be competing for the first time. She's also excited to start recruiting for the fall 2021 semester and can't wait to see where the esports program goes. Danielle recently left a full-time career in healthcare to become a full-time head coach of esports at Lawrence Technological University. She's actively seeking participants to help grow the varsity team at LTU for the fall 2021 season. Adrian, also known as Lithia, who we've had here before, left a part-time job to become the full-time esports coach at Stevens College in April. She's still working on discovering new hobbies since the previous one is now her job. And Atomic_B, volunteer coach. You work with Lithia or Adrian for Stevens College, active duty member of the U.S. Navy. Thank you for your service. Working in competitive esports as a hobby, specializing in competitive analysis and micro coaching. So how did your program start? And we'll go from there. Go ahead, Jacquie.
Sure. I think it started mostly, we have 2 large esports clubs on our campus, and they really actively pursued an esports program for about a year and a half, and they finally got ahead with administration, and administration started pushing for it a little bit more, and together between the clubs and administration, the program became a reality, and we're official now, so it's just a great feeling.
We're a liberal arts school, so our president wanted to have some kind of like computer tech or computer science something available on campus, and since that isn't super realistic for the kind of school we are, she started looking into like esports and figuring out how that would work with us. The program started in, I think, early 2017, and hopefully in fall of 21 we're going to be ramping it up a lot more and having more than just one competitive team.
So we had a club team, and I actually just came on. So we're in the process of starting the entire varsity team. So hopefully we'll have a full team by fall 2021 to compete. And I don't really know the whole story prior to it. It just kind of just goes with what Lawrence Tech is. You know, it's a tech school, engineering, computers.
First of all, I think it's really cool that you all are esports coaches, and I really wish that this was a thing when I was in school.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. It probably would have been worse for me during undergraduate if I tried out for esports. Okay, so what do you look for when you recruit players for your teams?
Sure. So there's just a lot of different things. You're definitely looking for rank just because you want to produce a high caliber team, but you also want the connectivity between the students and the players, and you want to make sure that they can play together and that they're positive and that you don't have toxic players. I think I would definitely choose a player who might not have the best rank, but is a lot more positive over a player who has past toxic behavior and just doesn't want to be a team player.
We want people who are going to fit academically at LTU. We don't want somebody who's going to come and just because they want to play. Really, we want people who are going to align with our careers and majors. I really would look for an effective communicator.
Personally, what I look for is someone who can handle losing. And I know that sounds really weird. And so someone who just, breaks their keyboard after failing doesn't really fit in a competitive team environment.
I want somebody who understands that they are part of a team. Like, they are not always going to be starting, and we're going to do what we can to win, and sometimes that means you're not playing.
What can younger players in high school right now, what can they do to get help, be recruited?
It's definitely going to be getting involved with whatever, a team at school, a club at school. So if your school doesn't have one, I would highly suggest talking to a leader and then trying to start a club or a varsity team if they'll give you that backing. Also joining tournaments. You can be a nomad and be in a tournament, and we'll look. And like I said, you can apply on at LTU's website?
Yeah, all of that. I think also just reaching out to universities and seeing if they have a varsity team if you don't know. But like reaching out to myself or anyone else, if I can't find you, I don't know about you. Creating a Be Recruited profile definitely helps because I constantly skim that looking for
Wait, what's that?
So Be Recruited is just like for sports, but they expanded it into esports games also.
Oh, wow.
And so you can upload your VODs, your Facebook, your YouTube videos. You can upload your rank, your GPA. Just looking through all of that and reaching out, I think, is really important.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm looking for is past team experience is big. Even if you don't have one at school and for whatever reason the school can't get one together, there are always teams out there for every game imaginable.
So what made you guys get into coaching? Or like, was it given to you? Was it bestowed upon you? Did the goddess bless you? I'm sorry.
I got into coaching. I don't want to say by accident, but like I never really intended to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to get into this game because I want to coach. I was helping a friend out with one of those players I was talking about that just didn't really know how to be on a team. And I was kind of just working with him while he wasn't playing so that he felt a little more involved. And I was like, wow, I'm pretty good at this.
While getting my master's degree, I had a research class. I was supposed to create some fictional project on something I was passionate about. And I love gaming, so I decided to make a fictional esports program. And it just kind of trickled down from there. I got super into what it takes to create a program for high schools and colleges and just researching up the wazoo just constantly. And from there, I was able to advise a couple colleges on how to start a program, and I turned it into a career.
So, yeah, I actually have previous experience in coaching swimming. And to be a head coach in swimming, you really need to have a pedigree that is quite unmatched. And then somebody recently told me about esports coach at LTU, and I was, I didn't even hesitate. And I was like, this is perfect. Like, how could I not marry two worlds into one? So here I am.
I found a niche that is really interesting because there's more to esports than being a player or a coach. They also have analysts. And I happen to be an analyst for the military. I found ways to be useful with data and really enjoyed it. And then Alithia and I bumped into each other randomly again in our esports careers. And we stayed in touch. And eventually she told me she was coaching Stevens Esports, which is an all-women's collegiate team. And I was like, can I help with that? How can I get involved? And that's how I got here.
So what would you like to see changed in the coaching environment, if anything?
Yeah, I mean, from like a collegiate level as a coach, it really has been good. Like, I haven't come across like a team in or out of like the collegiate scene that's been overly toxic. It's just a matter of kind of showcasing that a little bit more.
Like, as a nerd, I want to see more analytics. I want to see more third-party support of programs. There are programs out there. There are amazing people who have amazing skills who basically use like screen reading programs. There we go. Screen reading programs that do what takes me hours and hours in a matter of like 5-10 minutes.
Wow.
So I would like to see more support for that, especially, if Blizzard wants to grow the collegiate scene. But as far as like the coaching environment, I want to see coaches really pushing integrity with their players. If you are a player for a school, you represent that school. And with esports, you have an online persona, you have Twitter, you have TikTok, you have all these things. And so basically whatever you as a person do, if it's connected to your gamer account, it's connected to the school.
I completely agree too. I think that coaching is already changing, that the toxicity level is going down. It might not be as fast, but players are being held accountable, not just in game, but out of the game. And just being able for the coaches to realize and recognize that actions have consequences. And I know that teams have been kicked out of tournaments. I was in a I wasn't, but my players were in a tournament a couple weeks ago, and because of something that was said in chat, a team got disqualified. and it's happening faster, and I think we're on the right path.
So many believe that the gaming culture is toxic, especially towards female players. What do you think we can do immediately to change that?
I think it just goes back to trying to be professional and realizing that what you put out on your social medias and how you interact with people in game and how your communication is, it's going to affect everyone, and just trying to really be professional. I actually spoke about this question earlier with one of my mentors, Victoria Horsley. She is the president of UCEA, and she had a really good quote. It's "be better, not bitter." And I think if everyone can just adapt that a little bit and just work on being positive, supporting your losses and congratulating the other team, just trying to work together.
So as a female playing, I'm sure you all probably have had the same experience where you're either people think you suck or they're going to hit on you, why I'm not there for that. I was there to play. So lead by example, just like the other said. I found a core group of friends to play with. If you find a team and people that support you, then you're going to, maybe not find the toxicity as much.
I mean, it's a hard question to answer because it all depends on other people changing the way they act. Mm-hmm. And now I'm going to give like the less like answer.
I know where this is going.
I get a lot of, go make me a sandwich, like that kind of stuff. I just go with it. I'm like, okay, what kind of sandwich would you want? And they don't know what to do. So then they just stop talking.
The sad thing about the world is you can't control people. You can't make people behave a certain way. You can't control what they think and what they say, right? The only thing you have control over is how you react to it. So if it's personally affecting you, mute. Can I cuss on this stream? Probably not. Mute the crap out of them.
My advice would be just to put yourself out there. Keep trying to put yourself in front of the people. Keep pestering people if you need to, and just really try to make things happen. It's not going to come naturally to some people, and just go for it. We will be recruiting for League of Legends, Rocket League, CSGO, Call of Duty, and Smash for fall of 2021. So those are 2 teams that I'm really hoping to get to. You can go to esports.mnsu.edu, and all of our information is on our website.
Our main competitive roster is Overwatch right now, but we are opening the program up to literally anyone who is interested in esports, because our goal is going to be providing tools to get into the industry, because in my experience, it was really difficult.
I'm recruiting for literally anything, everything, whatever you want to play. Primarily Rocket League. There is actually a tournament that's on the 19th for all the high schoolers. It can be any high school. I mean, California, Oregon, or anywhere, right? CSGO, Overwatch, and Smash.
Of course, Atomic is with Adrian, so it would be similar.
Oh, but I'd like to put out a pitch.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
hey.
So
She's
in the year
rogue.
fall 2024, yours truly, Atomic B, will be released from the military and looking for a collegiate team to join. So please recruit me in the future.
Nice.
Thank you for your service from Tennessee.